Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome. Welcome to I Am Let's Talk Domestic Violence this Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see. It's good to see everyone on this Friday. Welcome to I Am. Welcome to I Am Let's Talk Domestic Violence. I hope you guys have had an awesome week thus far. We made it to Friday. That is enough to be thankful. We are still among the living. That is enough to be thankful. We made it. We made it. We made it. We made it all the way to Friday. I'm super excited. I'm super, super excited. God is doing wonderful things with I Am. So, welcome, 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 welcome. If it's your first time on here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. We talk about domestic violence, we give you the signs of domestic violence. Um, and we help you. We help you. And we let you know that there is help out here for you and that you don't have to sit in silence. Hi, Prophet Jones. Yeah, that is my best friend. That's like my brother. I thank God for him and his support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys interact with me, talk to me. He is going to be on Prophet Jones will be joining us next Thursday on Self Love Thursday. I can't wait because it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire because he loved himself, some self love and peace, y'all. So make sure you guys join in on the 17th. If you're joining in, let me know where you are watching from. Say hello. When you come on here, don't just look, say hello. What's going on? I'm excited. I am so, so excited because listen, I don't look like what I've been through. For the ones that's new, I am a domestic violence survivor myself. I lived the life. Trust me, I lived the life in darkness for many, many years. I lived in silence for many, many years. And I know if God can bring me out, God can bring you out. There is nothing too big, there's nothing too hard, there's nothing too small that God can't do. But if you have not joined Self Love Thursday, if you have not seen Self Love Thursday, listen, if you're having one of those moments where you're down and um you're just facing a lot of stuff in life, be sure to check out Self Love Thursday. It will do you good. Listen, it will bless you. It will really, really bless you. But let's get right on into it. So we're going to be talking about a kindergarten teacher um that out of New Jersey, that lived in New Jersey. She was a kindergarten teacher, and her body was found buried in a shallow grave not too far from her home. And her husband is charged in her death. She's a kindergarten teacher um, who was well known in New Jersey. Um, and her husband killed her. Her husband, I'm gonna get it right, y'all. I'm gonna talk right tonight, okay? Her husband, um, her husband is charged with her murder. He basically, um, he basically killed her. So the story goes: the death of 33-year-old Luz Hernandez shocked her family and co-workers at Beloved Charter School. That was the name of the school that she worked at, where she had spent the last 5 years of her life teaching kindergartners. She was 33 years old. So for the last 5 years, she was a kindergarten teacher. She loved kids. Her brother had told CBS that she had children, her own children, her students, and her and any kids basically really loved her. She was the very reason why, I mean, they were the very reason why she had decided to go into teaching. She loved kids, kids loved her. um when Hernandez did not show up, when she did not show up for work on one Monday morning. I'm gonna get my words right, y'all. On one Monday morning, staff at the school knew that something was wrong and asked the Jersey City Police to do a wellness check. Inside Hernandez's home, officers found blood splattered and evidence that would lead them to an even more gruesome discovery. Just 3 miles away from her residence, Hernandez remains were found buried in a shallow grave. Prosecutors in the Garden State initially described her death as suspicious. Before the case officially became a homicide investigation, when an autopsy on a Thursday determined that Hernandez died by blunt force trauma to the neck. He buried her 3 miles. He buried her 3 miles from her home. And I'm gonna put her picture up here so you guys can see her. She was very beautiful. They're just 33 years old. She had kids. Um, so her husband, let's see if I can't get her. That's her picture up there in the corner there. Hope you guys can see that. Let's see if I put this. There we go. It's a little bigger. That's a little better. So that is 33-year-old Miss Hernandez, who was killed by her husband and buried 3 miles away from her house. Again, she was a kindergarten teacher where she teach for the last 5 years of her life. Um, Her husband also was the father of her kids. His name was Caesar Santana. He is 36 years old. Um, he has been arrested on charges of concealing human remains. Then there was another man by the name of Lanier Miranda Lopez, who was 26, who was also charged in Hernandez's death, but has yet to be taken into custody. Um, so Hernandez was originally from the Dominican Republic. Her family moved to the U.S. when she was 5 years old. Again, she began teaching at Beloved Charter School in 2017. Her two oldest children, a fourth and seventh grader, also attended the school. Her sister Jenny Tavares wrote in the description of a GoFundMe page that it had always been Hernandez's dream to work with and for children. The funds, more than $21,000 that was raised as of a Friday evening, will go towards a scholarship fund for her three kids. Hernandez was also pursuing a master's degree in education and would have graduated this past May from St. Peter's College. So she was also a college student, a mother, and a wife, and a teacher. She was passionate. She was a passionate educator who worked tirelessly to improve children's educational abilities. Miss Tavares wrote. Her sister said that she was a very passionate educator. Um, so in a statement on Friday, the school said that Hernandez will be remembered and celebrated for all the joy that she brought to this world. Being a teacher is as a gift to teach kindergarten to teach kindergarten kids. Um, Someone wrote that people loved her. She was a wonderful co-worker. Um, she was a beloved mother, of course, of the beloved family. Um, they say people are feeling devastated by her murder. There is going to be a desire to commemorate her, and there's going to be a desire to support her family. One of the co-workers added her whole family was involved, was part of the beloved community. The school was closed on a Wednesday after Hernandez's body was found outside her home. Students left flowers, teddy bears, and candles in tribute. Hernandez and 36-year-old Cesar Santana had separated in November, but initially decided to live in the same home. Relatives had told the news, Fox 5. Other family members said that Mr. Santana was likely the last person to see his wife alive after spending some time with his three children on a Saturday. And then on a Sunday, he reportedly took the children to church. To church. He went to the church with his kids like nothing happened. Hernandez's cousin had told NBC, like, you done murdered her and everything. You go to church like nothing happened. Like, you know, during the investigation by New Jersey police and the Hudson County prosecutor's office, it emerged that Mr. Santana, Miranda Lopez were stopped by police on Sunday. That was his accomplice. The unregistered vehicle was impounded after the suspects were linked to the crime. Further evidence was seized from the car on Tuesday, and these are the two suspects right here. The picture on the left is Miss Hernandez's husband, and the picture on the right is Mr. Lopez. The one with the low cut is Mr. Hernandez. The one with the little curly hair is Mr. Lopez. So again, Hernandez's body was found 3 miles away from her house. Hernandez was last seen alive on a Saturday, but was officially reported missing on a Monday after she failed to show up to work. Before discovering the body, police found blood splatters again in Hernandez's home near Lafayette Park in Kearney. Evidence then led them to the shallow grave just 3 miles away from her home. The body was found around 4:50 p.m. in the evening. The case became a homicide investigation on a Thursday after prosecutors revealed an autopsy determined Hernandez died by blunt force trauma and compressions to the neck. Miss Tavares said her sister was a victim of domestic violence. Loved ones of Hernandez reportedly tried to get in touch with Mr. Santana on Thursday, but they were not available. No availability. Again, this is Miss Hernandez. He was arrested shortly after midnight on Friday at a motel in Miami. He remains detained at the Miami-Dade Turner Gifford Night Detention Center. Authorities in New Jersey, Florida, New York, and Pennsylvania work collectively to track down him. Prosecutors said he is expected to face more charges once his extradition to New Jersey is completed. Hernandez leaves behind 3 children. Her youngest is just 2 years old. The minors are now being cared for by her family. She was one of the best teachers. Everybody loves her. All the kids. It's just like so complicated to think about this. We just want justice. We love her family, the friends. She was an amazing girl, and it's so unfair somebody takes away the life from her. Why? Again, Miss Hernandez was murdered by her husband. She was murdered by her husband, and he buried her body. He buried her body 3 miles. 3 miles. He killed her and buried her body 3 miles. 3 miles away from her home. And this story caught my eyes because we as women, even men, but we as women, we have to know who we are dating. We have to know who we are dating. Because I say it all the time. In the beginning, they always put on this, nice show, to pull you in, to will you in. You feel like they show you that you can have a good life with them. They show you all of this nice stuff. And then once they get you to where they want you, excuse me, once they get you to where they want you, things begin to change. And we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Excuse me. We have to be careful of who we date. We have to be careful. I know it was this thing that used to be said, you can't help who you love. And I was one of those that would say that you can't help who you love. But listen, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can't help who you love by being careful who you date. If it seems too real to be true, if it just seems too real, like, sometimes it's better to walk away. It's better to walk away because I've been there. I really thought that this person was all for me. I really thought this person really, really cared and loved me. I was doing all that I can to help this person and everything. And coming to find out, I was being cheated on. I was I was cheated on. I was mentally abused. I was physically abused, verbally abused, all of that. And I was one of the biggest ones to say, I can't help who I love. But at the same time, I was in this relationship with this person that could have took my life at any time because that was one of his main threats. His main threats was, he'll blow me, he'll shoot me in the face. He'll do this, he'll do that. Those were his main words that he would always say when he got angry. So we have to be careful who we date. We have to be careful who we love. And because I'm pretty sure Miss Hernandez was probably never expected that her husband would do something like that. I'm pretty sure she would never even thought that the father of her children, her youngest child being 2 years old, meaning that they just had this baby 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure that she did not even imagine or even see that coming, that her kid's father would even have thought about harming her at all. We have to be careful. What some people don't know, when women are pregnant, I know you probably never heard this, and some of you probably have, but when women are pregnant, women go through that postpartum depression. Also, men go through that same thing. Sometimes first-time dads, they go through it. Sometimes when you don't when that man does not want any more kids, and you end up pregnant with maybe the fourth child or whatever, they go through that. They go through depression. They go through it, and sometimes they don't know how to handle it, and that depression goes too far. Sometimes they commit suicide, or sometimes they take out their whole family and kill themselves. And this is why we have to be careful of who we love. This is why we have to be careful who we date. This is why we have to be careful who we let into our life. We have to be careful who we let into our life. Because one thing about it is, a lot of people wear, one thing about it is, a lot of people wear a mask. The majority of abusers wear a mask. And that mask comes off. Once they done loved on you, they got you right where they want you, that mask comes off. And the real person begins to show. And if you don't get out in time, when that person begins to show, if you don't get out in time, then eventually it becomes too late. So I say this after sharing this story with you about Miss Hernandez, the kindergarten teacher that was buried by her husband, killed, murdered by her husband, and buried 3 miles from her house. As I share this story with you, and I say this about how abusers are, don't let it become too late. I say it all the time. Don't let it become too late, because there is help out there. I did a story a couple weeks ago on I Am, where the family was like, we didn't know how to help her. We didn't know what to do. And at that time, they was just, they felt, they were blaming themselves because their loved one was gone. They didn't know what to do. They saw her every day. They knew she was in a domestic violent relationship, but they didn't know how to help her. They didn't know how to pull her out of it. As far as Miss Hernandez here, we don't know if he used to beat on her. We don't know if she was afraid. We don't know none of that, because the story doesn't give us all those details. It lets us know from the family, yeah, she was in a domestic, we feel that she was in a domestic violent situation. But when you feel, let me tell you something, when you feel that a family member is in a domestic situation, don't sit there. Don't sit there. Don't let them end up like Miss Hernandez. If you see something that is out of the norm with your loved one, pull them to the side. Let's see what's going on. Are you okay? Domestic violence is real. And I come across stories all the time. Domestic violence is real. Don't let nobody tell you that it's not real. You can get a 50B, you can get a PPO, but that's just a piece of paper. And that piece of paper, it really doesn't stop anybody. It's good to have it. It really is, but it doesn't stop anything. Because if an abuser wants to get you, and they don't want you, and they do not want you they don't want you out of their life, that piece of paper isn't going to stop them. But that piece of paper lets you protect yourself at the same time. So if you are in a domestic situation, get help. Get help. Don't sit there in the dark Usually when you're going through physical abuse or some sort, an abuser will have you go sit in a corner, and you're just sitting there in the dark, and that begins to mess with you mentally. Now you got psychological problems going on in your mind. You don't want to get there. You don't want to get there. When you see the person that you are with and their love language changes, it's time to get out. When that love language change, it's time to get out. Everybody love language isn't the same. Everybody love language is not abusive. But when that love language change and you see things changing and you know the difference, don't second guess yourself. Go with your gut. Go with your gut. Because being in a domestic violence situation, it is very hard at times to get out of it. It is very hard at times to get out of it. And some people don't like to tell their story. Some people don't want you to know that they are in any type of situation. Like as far as emotional abuse goes, that is part of domestic violence as well. Because you got different signs of emotional abuse. And if you're facing any of those signs, you are with an abuser, you need to let go. You got someone um humiliating you on the daily, it's time to let go. Emotional blackmail, it's time to let go. Gaslighting, that's a big one. It's time to let go. It's time to let go. Invasion of your property, it's time to let go. There's no point in staying there. And I say this all the time, that I wish that the things that I know now, I wish I knew back then. But I'm thankful that I went through all that I went through. So don't allow yourself to drown. Let me say it like that. Don't allow yourself to drown. One thing about a narcissist person is that they will try to make you feel guilty or fearful. They will try to make you feel guilty or fearful. They don't want to hear what you got to say. They try to turn it all around on you. They don't see their mistakes. They don't see nothing that they did. What they did is always your fault. It's always your fault. And when you don't do what they want, again, they try to make you feel guilty. Everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. Always going to be your fault, no matter what. So if you are in an abusive relationship, come out. Come out. Don't be like Miss Hernandez. We don't even want to get to that point. We don't want to get to nobody have to have a RIP shirt on. We don't want to have to get to just going into a funeral. It has to stop. It has to stop. It has to stop. When you are with someone and they lack empathy, that is a red flag. That is a narcissist red flag, is when they lack empathy. It's time to move back. They begin to seem unable or unwilling to have empathy for you or others, and they appear to have no desire for emotional intimacy, narcissists are like that. It's time to move back. Because one thing about narcissists, when they get angry, that rage that's inside of them, they react off of it. So whatever goes through their mind at that moment, and if you are standing there, they will strike you. Even if you just laying there, and they will come off real quiet, calm, and they will say something, but they don't want you to respond back to them. And if you just mumble something under your breath, it's just something that goes off that triggers them. They will attack you right then and there. I am living proof of it, because I was attacked just laying on the bed. I mumbled something under my breath and boom, I was attacked. He was cool and calm. I didn't even see it coming. And again, I'm grateful to God that I made it out. Don't wait until it's too late. Come up out of those relationships. Come up out from under those toxic people that is in your life. Love you. Love yourself. Know that you are important. Even though I know many abusers tell people that they are nothing, they ain't gonna never be nothing, don't nobody want them. Listen, you are important. You are somebody. You are somebody special. Someone does want you. There is someone out there that does want to love you. There is someone out there that does want to treat you right. There is someone out there that do want to see you happy. There is someone out there for you to love you the way that you shall be loved. Don't sit there stuck in a situation like that. It is very unhealthy. Being in an abusive relationship will cause your appearance to go down. It will cause you not to want to do the things that you love, to a point where it will drain you so bad that now at this point you don't even want to be with nobody else but the abuser, but the one that is abusing you. Don't let it get like that. If you are in an abusive relationship, seek the help. Seek the help. Because 9 times out of 10, an abuser will not seek help because they don't see that they're doing anything wrong. They're not going to seek that help. Can't change them. They have to want to change on their own. No matter what you do, once you are in an abusive relationship, no matter what you do, it's never good enough for the abuser. No matter if you do it the way they tell you to do it, it's still not good enough. If your abuser tells you to be in a house at 8:30 and you're there at 8:29, it's not good enough. You should have been at the house at 8:15. That's the way they think. God forbid if you come in at 8:31. Now there's World War II going on. You are in a domestic situation, seek the help. It's there. It's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Because now these relationships are becoming deadly. It's like nobody's getting out in time. It's too late. When you're with someone and they say you out there, nobody else can ever have you, or you may say that same thing, You got to understand this, that there is power in words. There is power in words. Get out of that relationship, because it is unhealthy. And you don't have to stay in an unhealthy relationship. You don't have to. This is why we must love ourselves and be careful who we love. Be careful who we date. Look, do a whole background check if you have to, because the time that we are living in now, everybody is for self. I'm not saying that there's no good women out there. I'm not saying that there's no good men out there, because there is. But the majority are for self. And this behavior of domestic violence, beating on women, women beating on men, it is a behavior that they have seen coming up. It is a behavior that they felt was right because they seen someone else do it and they didn't get in trouble for it. They got away for it. They got away from it. And one thing about domestic violence, it affects your children as well. So if you are in a relationship with someone, if you got kids by this person, get out while you can. There's no such thing of no one is going to take me because I have kids. Yes, they will. There are shelters out there, and I'm going to leave you with the information. There are shelters out there that will take you and your child. And I know it's hard when you leave someone that you have loved for years and years and years. I know it's hard. And you end up going back. One thing about that is that it is normal. I would never tell you that it's not normal. It is normal for you to leave and go back. Yeah, it is normal. But if you do that, don't stay there. Remember what happened when you go back. Remember how you was treated. Remember what your children saw. Remember what they said about you. And leave. Because one thing about it, if you keep leaving and going back, eventually you're not gonna leave again, and it's going to be too late. You deserve so much more. You deserve better. Just know that. Do not end up like Miss Hernandez. Don't end up like none of these victims that have lost their life in domestic violence. Know that you can make it. Know that you can do it. Know that you are strong. Know that you are worthy. Know that. Just know that. Know that there's a man out there that wants a good wife. He can love you through your pain. But one thing about God, God will fix you. God will fix you. God will fix your heart to where nobody else can ever break it again. And you can live that life that you always dreamed of. I know this for a fact because he did it for me. I was broken. And when I say I was broken, I was broken. I was just to a point where I can't do this no more. God, I need you to help me. I need you to put the pieces of my heart back together because my heart was shattered. I need you to put the pieces of my heart back together. And only you can do this, Lord. Because when God does it, it feels good. You don't feel that pain at all. But see, I was still hurting because there was a piece of my heart, a piece of that puzzle that was being put back together that was missing. And when you come out of domestic violence relationship, even if it's physical, psychological, verbal, emotionally, financially, sexually, when you come out of it, there's one piece of the puzzle that has to be there. That is a big piece. That piece is called forgiveness. And God never told us that we would forget what happened, but we have to forgive them for what they've done. And I know it is hard to forgive somebody that has beaten on you, that has stole from you, that has called you out your name, and did numerous of things that you did not deserve. I know that it's hard, but it's something that we must do. It's part of healing so that you may live and live that life that you always wanted to live. And just like Miss Hernandez here, she may have never done anything. They may have gotten arguments or whatever, and she may have forgave him for everything. But that still wasn't good enough. And he still ends up killing his wife. But see, this is what it is. The forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. It's for you. It's for your healing. It's for you to live a life that you always wanted to live. It's not for them. The forgiveness is for you. And some people, I hear a lot of women always saying, how in the world do you expect me to forgive someone that did all this to me, that used to drag me, shot me? How do I supposed to forgive them? You can't do it on your own. You need God help. You need God's strength. You need to pray that, because that forgiveness is for you. Because if not, if you don't forgive, you're going to forever be broken from what they did. You may be out, you may have become a survivor, but you still got residue on you. You still got residue on you. And as long as that residue is there, you still got anger. And what does anger and rage lead to? You want to retaliate. You want to get your lick back. And next thing you know, by you wanting to get your lick back, by you wanting to retaliate, you either dead or in jail. That's not living the life that you want. That's why it's important to forgive. That's why the forgiveness is for you. So no one won't get a phone call that an autopsy has been done and they found your body 3 miles, 2 miles away from your house, like what happened to Miss Hernandez. So if you're in a domestic violence relationship, get out while you can. And yes, you can get out. If you need the help, I'm going to let you know where you can get the help from, because help is there. You have to want it. You have to make the choice today to say enough is enough. You have to say enough is enough. It's enough. I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired. I don't want to go through this no more. It is enough. I don't want to take, I just can't deal with this anymore. And guess what? When you begin to say those words and you mean it, and you ask God to help you, God is going to do just that. If he did it for me, he can do it for you. If he did it for others, he can do it for you. He's the same God as he was yesterday. He's the same God as he was 45 minutes ago. He's the same God as he was 22 seconds ago. He's the same God today as he was yesterday. If he can do it for you, he can do it for me. I mean, if he can do it for me, he can do it for you. Excuse me. Listen. Come up out of it. It's not worth staying and saying, "Oh, he loves me, she loves me." No, 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 they don't. No, they don't. Come out. Come out. I want you guys to know that I love you all with the love of Jesus Christ that is within me. And know that God loves you as well. And to never be ashamed, never be embarrassed about what you go through in life. Because everything that we go through in life, there is a purpose for it. There's a reason for it. Everything that we go through in life, there is a reason why we go through it. Never be ashamed of your testimony. If you are in a domestic violence relationship, understand this. God never left you. God has always been there. Just know that. A lot of people like to say, well, if God so much of this and that, and if God loved me like he say he loved me, then why God sit here and let me get myself into this mess? And why God didn't stop him from beating on me? First of all, listen to this, check this out. God didn't get you into nothing. You got yourself into that. God didn't get you into that relationship, but he will bring you out of it. He sure will. See, what you don't understand is that you say, why God allowed him to beat on me? No, God allowed that to happen because what he wanted to do was to kill you. Yeah. What he was going to do is go get the gun, but instead, God allowed him to hit you, not shoot you and kill you. So if you're in that, get out. Get out. God didn't put you in there. God didn't put you in there. You put yourself in that situation, but you can come out of that situation. Don't be blinded by the material things. See, a lot of people are blinded by material things, things that look good. One thing about an abuser is that they prey on what they want. They watch. They see if you got, they see if you don't got. They see all of that because they prey. They prey on their victims. That's the one thing about abusers, narcissists. They prey on their victims, manipulators. That's what they do. And see, when they're watching you and they got all their notes together, that's when they go in. Oh, all I got to do, oh, I bet she'll like this right here. Get her this nice rod and this nice gold necklace. I got her. Don't let material things get you caught up in something that can turn deadly. Don't let money and nice words get you caught up into something that can turn deadly. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't be afraid to get help. Help is here. You can call if you are in an abusive relationship and you're ready to get out, and that's the choice that you're ready to make. Listen, you can DM me right here, or You can DM me on any of my platforms. Um, you can DM me on Instagram. I check it. I check it. I check it. I check it out. I'm always I check it. I check it. I check it. I don't really check too much of let me rephrase that. I don't check it like every day, but my Instagram is 2021 I underscore am. You can do my TikTok at domestic violence I am. You can DM me on there. I don't check it every day. I might check it every 2 days, but I will get back with you. You can definitely DM me on Facebook. I check that all the time. I check it all the time. You can also email me at im.septemberwhite@gmail.com. Everything is confidential. It's between me and you. Nobody else. There's no third party. That's none of that. Um, you also can go to the domestic violence hotline, which is 1-800-799-7233. Again, the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. You can also go to your local legal aid that's in your city, your state. You can go to the local legal aid to get help as well. You can go to www.thehotline.org. That's their website. It will ask you a question. Do you feel safe? And if you say you don't feel safe, it will tell you how to exit off of that site. Because one thing about abusers, they can track you down and see what you have been doing. Again, that's www.thehotline.org. You also can go to www.liveyourdream.org and get help there. Also, the domesticshelters.org. You can go there and get help. They got a lot of things on domesticshelter.org. Check it out. The help is there. You have to want the help. You have to make that choice. Enough is enough. Remember that no one deserves to experience abuse of any kind for any reason from anyone, no matter if it's verbal, psychological, sexual, financial, emotional, or physical. No one deserves to experience any type of abuse. So as we wrap it up, you guys, again, my email is im.septemberwhite@gmail.com. It is going across your screen. You don't forget to follow me on Instagram at 2021 I underscore am. Also TikTok at domestic violence I am, and also my YouTube. We are on YouTube. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I am super excited. I'm gonna have to get that information because I do not know the YouTube information by heart. But we are actually on YouTube, and I'm super excited about everything that God is doing. Be on the lookout for Self Love Thursday on next week, where we have no other than Prophet Lester Jones from Rural Hall that will be coming on sharing some things with us about self-love, letting us know why is it important to love ourselves. He'll be letting us know the importance of self-love. That's at 7:30 next Thursday. Also, continue to watch Let's Talk Domestic Violence on Fridays at 8 p.m. Also, on the 24th of this month, we will have no other than Dominique Byers that will be stopping by from High Point, North Carolina, that will be stopping by to show some love and let us know the importance of self-love as well. Can't wait, can't wait. And then at the end of this month, I have 3 special guests that will be coming on to talk to you guys also about the importance of self-love and what self-love means to them. So be on the lookout. Stay connected, like, tag, share. let somebody know about I Am Stopping Domestic Violence Around the World. That is what I Am is about. I come here, I share these stories with you guys to give you insight on that domestic violence can get deadly. Domestic violence is real. Your abuser mind thinks different than what you think their mind is thinking. It's completely different. I come on here to give you the signs, red flags, and all of that good stuff to let you know that you are maybe potentially dealing with an abuser and it's time to let go before it gets too late, because we don't want nobody gone. We don't want to see no RRPs or any of that. If you would like to be a guest on Self Love Thursday, please email me again at im.septemberwhite@gmail.com. If you would like to be a guest on Self Love Thursday, to stop by and give us some gems on self love um, and the importance of self love, we would love to have you. Also, if you are a survivor, if you have a story that you would like to share, I would love to have you on I Am. I would love to bring you on and have a conversation with you, and we would love to hear your story. Also, I Am's digital newsletter is out. August issue is out right now. Go check it out right here on Facebook or any of my social medias. Go check it out. August issue is out. Also, again, about your survivor story. If you have a survivor story, we would love to put you into the digital newsletter that goes out every month. Would love to have you in there. If you have a business, if you are a business owner, if you're just getting started and you need some publicity, you want to get your business out there, would love to put you into our digital newsletter. You can go onto my page right here on Facebook and click on the link, and it will give you the form to fill out if you are a survivor and you would like to share your story, or if you have a business and you would like the publicity to put your business in the newsletter. You can go on there and fill out the form. I look forward to talking to you. I look forward to hearing your story. Remember, you all, that God loves you and I love you as well. And you all have an awesome, awesome, awesome Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Be blessed. Tell somebody that you love them. Remember the smile, because your smile can change the environment. You guys have a blessed evening.